So I made a video going over Q4 of 2025, and in that video is basically me going over specific credit cards that I would use in certain categories. Those categories is going to be like the gas, groceries, dining, entertainment, and all other spend. But in that video, something that really stood out to me is that one of my viewers commented stating that they actually use no annual fee cards for all categories, which ended up sparking an idea in my head of why don't I actually make a video going over all categories and what cards I would use that are completely $0 annual fee. But keep in mind with something like this, it's really more difficult for people who like to travel because traveling cards require you to actually have an annual fee. But if you stay all the way to the end of this video, I am going to be going over a bonus card that allows you to use their transfer partners at a $0 cost. So if you're new to this channel, my name's Andy. I'm a senior programmer analyst that loves to talk about personal finances. Here in this channel, we like to talk about credit cards, budgeting, and financial tools that can possibly help you guys out. But enough of that, let's go ahead and start with the video. Now, starting off with all other spend, the one card I usually recommend to many beginners is going to be the Citi Double Cash. The Citi Double Cash is a flat 2x card, but it is unique in its own way because you get 1x when you spend and you get 1x when you pay it off. Now, to me, it is a great learning card. It requires you to pay off the entire statement to earn the entire 2x. Now, to me, that's a great strategy to where it gets people to be responsible on using that card to earn your flat 2x. Because usually, if you don't pay it, if you don't already know, you are going to be collecting interest, which is something in this channel we do not like to do because we like to take advantage of banks and not banks taking advantage of us. Also, that's something that's really cool about the Citi Double Cash. It allows you to actually transfer your cashback rewards into an external bank account. Because usually with other banks, they're only allowing you to redeem it through checks or actually through a statement balance. So the fact that Citi does this, it is a plus in my book. And this is also the reason why I recommend this card, because you're given the option or the versatility to do more things with your rewards. Now, as for an alternative card, you can look into the Wells Fargo Active Cash. Now, the Wells Fargo Active Cash is a flat 2x card, but the way this is rewarded to you is going to be at the end of each statement. Now, for me, I've actually had this card and I'm not really a big fan of it because obviously, like for me, I didn't do a lot of research and I saw that they've been through a lot of lawsuits and it's just like a lot of people don't even trust the bank. But my main issue here is that with the rewards, you actually can't transfer to an external bank account. You're either required to redeem it through a check or on the statement balance. For me, I wish they actually had it to where you can transfer it to an external bank because I even reached out to see if there's an alternative way to make it electronically. The only thing that they stated is that I actually have to open up a checking account to actually redeem all those rewards into a checking account. And then from there, I can then transfer it out, which to me was an additional step that I didn't want to do. So I ended up coming to a point where I stopped using that card because just the rewards are really difficult to actually use and move over. So that is something to look into if you plan on using the Wells Fargo Active Cash card, or if you already bank with them, then this card will be a no-brainer for you. Now, as for the third card here, if you're not interested in the first two that I mentioned, it is going to be the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, the Chase Freedom Unlimited is a little bit different here because you are going to be getting 1.5x on all spend. Now, before you go into the comments below that is less than 2, yes, I understand that, but this card actually has specific categories you can earn 3x on. So that 3x is going to be on dining, and then you're also going to get 3x at drugstores. So I actually thought about this the other day. Don't you really like kind of break even at that point? Because let's say you use gas, right? You use a 2x card on gas, and then you go 2x on dining. Now, if you use the Chase Freedom Unlimited and you get 1.5x on gas, but you get 3x on dining, kind of breaks even in a way if you really look at it. But who knows? This is for me looking from a like top view here. I really haven't broken down the numbers, but to me it kind of is the same. But let me know in the comments below if you actually use either one of these cards and to see whether or not it actually does break even. But those are going to be the three main cards here that I'll probably recommend in this specific category, which is going to be the all spend, which is going to be the Citi Double Cash, the Wells Fargo Active Cash, and the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, hopping over to the gas category, the one that's very well known in the community is going to be the Citi Custom Cash. The Citi Custom Cash is a guaranteed 5x on the category you select, but at a limit. The limit is going to be $500 per each billing cycle. Now, although this may seem very low, it's still pretty good because usually this is why people like to use it in the gas category. But do keep in mind that this card actually goes off your spending habits. So let's say you go into a dining and you spend $300 in that category, but you use the same card on gas and you spend $100 in gas, then you're going to be getting the 5x on the dining rather than the gas. Now, you can pick and choose what you want to use of the categories, but I usually would recommend people to use them in the gas because to get 5x on gas is guaranteed because you can get 3x or if not more in the dining category with another card. So this is why it's very well known to be the gas card, because a lot of people just leave it in their car, and whenever they go to the gas, they go ahead and use it. So this is the card that I definitely plan on adding to my wallet here in the future. But again, I explained throughout many videos of what my current situation is with Citi. So I have to wait a little bit before I can actually apply for this card. But definitely this card is king in the gas category. Now let's say if you don't want the Citi Custom Cash, another card you're going to replace this category with is going to be the Blue Cash Everyday card. Now with this card specifically, you are going to be getting 3x on gas, but up to $6,000 per year. Now, although this card is 2x lower than the Citi Double Cash, just know that if you're a person that wants to use American Express, their customer service is top tier. I've used them through like phone calls. I use them through their chat on the app. You get a response within a couple of minutes. So if that's something you value and you want to start experiencing getting into the American Express ecosystem, this would be a great card for you. But again, there is going to be a limit of that $6,000 per year. So I'll probably say look at what you spend on a month-to-month basis on gas to see if you would ever go over that specific limit. If you don't, then this card will be a great fit as well to your wallet. As for the groceries category, the one card that I usually recommend to completely everyone here is going to be the Capital One Saver. The Capital One Saver is a 3x unlimited amount in the groceries category. Now, if you know of a card that's actually better than this, yes, I know there are like the 5x, but there are limits to how much you can spend on either a billing cycle or a quarter basis. Now, with this card, you can use it whenever, not having to worry about if you're going over a specific limit. And you're going to be knowing the fact that you're going to be getting a guaranteed 3x every time you use this card. So if you know a card that's better than this, just let me know in the description box below. But until then, I think there's no card out there that can actually compete with it. Now, hopping over to the dining category, the one card that I think it's actually slept on is going to be the US Bank Altitude Go card. 4x on dining, takeout, restaurant delivery on your first $2,000 each quarter. So you can see that this card is going to be already beating the Chase Freedom Limited and also the Capital One Saver here, because within those two cards, you are going to be getting 3x on dining. And if you get on this one, you're now going to be getting 4x on dining. So obviously for me, I will go ahead and jump on this card too, because obviously you want to maximize every category you possibly can to get the most value back. Now, as for the last category, which is the entertainment part, I would probably be using the US Bank Cash Plus card, because within this card, it allows you to select two categories to earn your 5x back on. And since it's entertainment, I'll probably be selecting the TV entertainment and streaming, and also be using the other categories that's available, which is going to be movie theaters. Now, there is going to be a limit of $2,000 per quarter on this card. Now, to me, in my opinion, I think $2,000 is a very high limit, especially in the entertainment category. So if you, let's say, for example, you use like Apple Music, Disney Plus, YouTube, and then you go to the movies every now and then, let's just cap it out. Let's say you spend $300 a month. You multiply it times 4, you're going to be getting $1,200. So that's still under the $2,000 limit. Even if you spend $400 a month on entertainment, you multiply it times 4, you're going to be getting $1,600, which is still, again, lower than $2,000. But if you somehow spend more than that on entertainment on a month-to-month basis, you can go ahead and add the Capital One Saver here as well to give you a guaranteed 3x on entertainment unlimited here too. But you are going to be losing that 2x compared to the 5x on the US Bank card here. Now, as for the bonus card that I mentioned earlier that allows you to open their transfer partners completely at a $0 annual fee, is going to be the Capital One Venture One. But the downside to this card is that you're only going to be earning 1.25 miles per dollar on every purchase. Now, like I stated earlier in this video, it is a little bit more difficult to do traveling with completely $0 annual fee cards. But the fact that Capital One is allowing you to use their transfer partners with a $0 annual fee card, I think that's a win. Even though you're losing the value on compared to the other cards that they have, I think this is a great way to start to see if whether or not you would be using their transfer partners. Now, if you get the Capital One Saver as well, you can actually transfer those points into the Capital One Venture One as well. So this actually already makes you put into a duo that allows you to transfer points to fly out. So this is a very minimal beginner setup, especially coming in at a $0 annual fee. And let's say down the line, if you want to experience the more premium cards, you can just upgrade one of these cards to a higher annual fee and you will get higher multipliers. Now, based off the cards I showed for each specific category on this video, you can see there's many options or many combinations you can do to maximize every single one. Now, the cards I went over are just cards that I would personally get to maximize every single category. but in your position, you may be picking out something different to get a higher value, or they're just a card that I didn't mention in this video. But just do make sure that you do your research to make sure that you know like what are your spending limits, or whether or not there are caches to get certain categories. For example, like the city custom cache, you actually have to use like one specific category to earn the highest rate. Or if you want to do traveling, for example, with Adventure 1 with a $0 annual fee, you're only going to be getting 1.25 with that card. And basically that's already, you're getting less the value of a flat 2x card. So you can see like there's pros and cons to everything. So you really have to see what you want to try out or value more in and see what works. I mean, it doesn't hurt, especially since these cards are coming in at a $0 annual fee. But I am going to be leaving this video at that. And as always, let's try to keep things simple, and I'll see you on the next one.